It is what it is. How many times have you heard that phrase or even found yourself saying that phrase? I'm going to share with you what Dr. Bruce Wilson, the author of a latest article for Psychology Today, says about this particular phrase. It is what it is. How many times have you heard this phrase or maybe even found yourself saying it? It is what it is. I know I've heard people say it, and let me be honest with you, I've even found myself saying it, but I found it very interesting that according to a recent article from Psychology Today, this is a sign of a set mind. In fact, Bruce Wilson, Ph.D., and the author of this article titled, "Do You Have a Set Mind or a Mindset?" says this expression does not foresee an alternative to a current situation, end quote. But I suppose the alarming detail here is that this reinforces procrastination and settling for less than what may be possible. In this recent article, "Do You Have a Set Mind or a Mindset?" Bruce Wilson, Ph.D., indicates the set mind evolves into an increasingly unadaptable and intolerant attitude, which reinforces the status quo and resists change. Therefore, what you and I have to consider is this, my friend. If you have a set mind, you will not be able to see the possibilities when faced with the giants and dragons. Furthermore, any little gray cloud can seem like a storm because of the inability to see beyond the current moment, or consider that a bright, beautiful sun exists beyond the gray clouds. But if a set mind can be limiting and cause stagnation, the question becomes, what is the difference between a set mind and a mindset? Well, in this article, Dr. Wilson indicates that similar to a set mind, a mindset is fixed but with the potential to change into a growth experience based on one's experiences without the limiting factors of a set mind. A mindset can be adaptable and liable, which permits new perspective and the ability to change. So often we wish to grow. Let's be honest. I know you want to grow. I know you want to expand. And so often we wish to grow. We treat it almost like wishing upon a star or when a child blows on a candle on their birthday. We wish to grow. However, we are unwilling to embrace change. Instead, we simply wish upon a star. Furthermore, we don't really want to, quote unquote, rock the boat, and we embrace the status quo. Yet, a mindset, according to this article from Dr. Wilson, a mindset is different. A mindset does not settle for the current state of affairs, but rather has the thought process, has the perspective that this too shall pass. When we talk about growth, when we talk about complacency, when we talk about stagnation, when we talk about the possibilities of seeing more, let us be very clear here today, my friends. Complacency suffocates growth 100% of the time, and it is a byproduct of a set mind. Inconsistency stifles growth 100% of the time, and it too is linked with having a set mind. After all, a set mind leads to procrastination, and procrastination is delegating today's responsibilities to your future self. The problem here, my friends, is that we do not know what the future will bring. And because we are unaware of what will happen in the next 2 seconds, or the next 2 minutes, or the next 2 hours, or the next 2 days, or the next 2 months, or the next 2 years, or the next 2 decades, you and I cannot fall into the habit of procrastinating. You and I cannot fall into the habit of delegating today's responsibilities to our future self. Because after all, as I mentioned, it's part of that set mind. And if we fail to rethink, honestly examine ourselves and reflect, we will not be able to shift direction. and witness genuine progress in our lives or the lives of those we lead, the lives of those we influence, the lives of those that we impact. The fear of change that so many people feel nowadays, the fear of change is conquered by facing one's fear, which expands rather than limits one's experiences. You have to take it head on. And so often we limit ourselves and we say, I'll leave it for tomorrow. I'll confront it for tomorrow. Or even worse, we just simply look at the situation, we look at the moment, and we say, it is what it is. And it is what it is a statement we ought not embrace. After all, doing so is believing there is no possible solution for the current circumstance. There's something very interesting here, and it is that neuroplasticity has revealed that brain messages can be reprogrammed. Most of our old messages are these tapes, these outdated tapes. Like I remember when I was a kid, we used to put the cassette into the cassette player, and when the radio would bring a song that we wanted, well, we would just hit record and then we would listen to it, but you had to pause it right before the track ended because you knew the DJ was going to be on the end saying, hey, here you go, you're listening to blah blah blah. And in our lives, so often you and I are replaying old tapes. This is massively interesting because that means that some of the messages we have are outdated. Some of the memories that we are using as a reference point to what's happening is outdated, that no longer apply to the present. Here you are thinking that you are facing an obstacle without realizing that you're actually confronting an opportunity. But yet, you're allowing these old messages to replay in your mind. Understand, you can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram these thoughts. So you don't have to stay stuck with a set mind. You can embrace a mindset, a growth mindset. Let me ask you a question, my friend. What if you decided this was my year? Like, what if you decided this is the year of expansion? What if you decided this is the year of growth? What if you decided? Then the messages you are replaying would have to stop. If today you decided this is the moment that everything changes, then so too will the messages that you're hearing consistently will have to change. And a new message would cause a new way of thinking. You can always move from a set mind to a mindset that allows you to grow in a never before experienced way, that allows you to grow and live a fulfilled life. Macy Jemison said this powerful quote. She said, greatness can be captured in one word: lifestyle. Life is God's gift to you. Style is what you make of it. And so often we are using this gift and we are using it in a style that is not conducive to the greatness we want to live, to the actual fulfilled life we wish to live. My friends, let's be honest. Saying goodbye is challenging, and it's challenging for various reasons. One of the reasons it's hard to say goodbye, it's because we have gotten attached. It's hard to say goodbye to friendships, to jobs, to careers, to university. It's hard to say goodbye even to a car that you've had for so long. It's hard to say goodbye sometimes to a nice sweater. And even more so, it's hard to say goodbye to a set mind, to limiting beliefs, to toxic traits, because they've become so a part of us. You've gotten attached to limiting mindsets. You've gotten attached to believing it is what it is. You've gotten attached to being afraid to rock the boat, and you just want to fit in line and fit with the status quo. But if you allow fear to lead your life, you will never live life. Listen, my friends, if you're taking note right now, write this down. If you allow fear to lead your life, you will never live life. Fear is a liar, and it will rob you of any possibilities of living a fulfilled life. Furthermore, saying goodbye means acknowledging that something greater is up ahead. So yes, I am challenging you to stop saying it is what it is. It can be different. This too shall pass. Sure, the current circumstances are what they are. Like, we're not ignoring that they are what they are. We're just saying this too shall pass. It can change. It doesn't have to stay like this. Because when you say it is what it is, you are not accepting the possibility that it can be better, that it can change, that there is an alternative, that there is a sun behind the gray clouds. No, it is not what it is. It can be better. But we have to first say goodbye to the limiting beliefs that things are the way they are and they'll never, ever be better. You've probably heard the phrase, be the change you wish to see. So if you think that things are the way they are, but you're not happy with the way they are, be the change you wish to see. Strategy Rewind Podcast is brought to you by Miguel Lebron Coaching, LLC. Miguel Lebron Coaching, LLC dedicates itself to strategic thinking and personal growth. Sure, you may be asking yourself, what does it mean to think strategically? To think strategically is to be able to pivot. It's to be able to see a solution even when you don't feel like there is one. And if you feel like you are stuck or in a fog and can't actually obtain your growth and actually live a fulfilled life, I want you to hit the link in the show notes and set up a free 30-minute strategy session. This could be the session that changes your life. I know this conversation has impacted you, and what I'm asking is that you consider reviewing our podcast on Apple Podcast and tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, tell someone, because I'm sure they too need to be impacted by this message. But don't stop there. Click on the link and start today a free 30-minute strategy session, because I believe this could change your life. This could be the one move that you're needing in order to accomplish your breakthrough moment.